Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream today. We're actually not started yet. This is just some casual play. We wanted to go live a little bit before the beginning of the tournament so we could make sure that the audio levels were all right and make any adjustments to that or the streaming quality. The last couple streams we've had to fix some problems after we've gone live, so I want to make sure we're not doing that this week. I guess I should
We have 10
set
people.
it to say casual play.
Yeah. Are we live?
So I'm listening to Twitch. It sounds like we're in pretty good shape. Looks like the quality of the stream is okay.
Yeah, no video stuttering. That's good. Oh, there's 3 people watching right now. I
So,
guess that's one of us, though. One of us.
We're probably, since everything's checking out, we're probably going to go back to the break screen.
Yep.
But we'll be back probably in the next 5 minutes with the first round. We just need to get them set up for the tournament. We'll see you in a few seconds.
Hi guys, welcome to the monthly Destiny Game Night Kit live stream here at 401games.ca. My name is Victor Nuckvy and I'm joined here with Travis Provic. We are VTTV Live. So today we have a pretty good
Start the round, guys.
Sorry, we're just getting everybody underway here. So we have a decent turnout for what is the first day after the spring forward daylight savings time. Nobody showed up late, thankfully, for that.
Well, we don't know. We'll know that in an hour.
Oh, that's true. When we get like from 10 to 12, 14 people for round 2. So we've got an interesting spread of decks for today's event. We decided for round 1 we're going to showcase John here, who we featured on the stream before. He ended up playing a Vader Raider deck. He's known for playing very competitive decks. He's also a very good player as well. He's a accomplished Imperial sub player. Now he's branching out a bit more into things like Star Wars Destiny. Sitting across from him is Patrick. Patrick is a newcomer to the 401 FFG gaming scene. Here, he's also a regular player of our Netrunner gaming nights, but today he's playing a classic Dooku Elite Grievous deck today. So we haven't seen a lot of Vader Raider, I think.
On stream?
Yeah, on stream or at this store, actually, I don't think.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think Patrick was playing it last week, I think.
Yeah.
Or last tournament. So you have them rolling off here. It looks like John's getting choice. He's deciding whether he wants the throne room or the Rebel War room.
This is actually something...
Or, sorry, not the throne room, the Imperial Armory.
Imperial Armory. This is something actually that surprised me a little bit, because for a little while we saw nothing but Mos Eisley spaceports in every deck. I think people were just afraid to give their opponents, potentially give their opponents like a battlefield with a significant ability.
Well, there are so many people playing Jango Veers, and that deck goes so fast.
For sure.
That you realize that you're never going to be able to take advantage of your own battlefield.
Yep.
So you don't want to be giving away any advantage when your opponent claims it.
Okay, so here we see Patrick started with a Duggan after deciding to be first player. Gets 3 shields on Grievous.
So John decided to give first player
see.
to Patrick, so
Yes.
Patrick actually was just responding there.
Okay, so that's 3 shields on Grievous, which is smart play because any deck that Grievous is in always gets focused. Grievous always gets focused down first. And
John's trying to be a little tricky, but he has both of his starting shields on Vader. Just stacked up.
Okay, rolls out Vader. Patrick discarding a Power of the Force. Smart play because that obviously is not going to be very relevant until like mid to late game. With a Force training on him, it looks like a 3 melee, 1 range side. Patrick responding with a blank.
Yeah, I didn't see their mulligans, but it's kind of unfortunate. It doesn't look like Patrick was able to get an upgrade up on turn 1.
Yeah. So I do see a deflect in Patrick's hand, which is probably not going to be very relevant this game, as well as a Feel Your Anger. Now, I think instead of
going through those shields, he's going to go the Dooku Red, which probably really plays into Patrick's game plan here.
Yep.
The challenge he's going to have is there are some big damage dice. Usually with Dooku, because you can use a card against every dice of damage, you have a chance to do a lot of mitigation, but when you're only preventing 1 of 3, he can get whittled down a lot more quickly than he might otherwise.
Okay, so that's Patrick resolving 2 attack against Vader, depleting his shields. John rolls out his Tusken Raider, rolling a 1 shield. Probably not going to discard a card to resolve that right away. So I think Patrick's deciding if he wants to use that Feel Your Anger that I saw in his hand earlier. While right now Vader is not showing any dangerous dice, I mean this kind of roll that we see here on John's side is almost always going to prompt a reroll.
Well, I think he's probably considering discarding to reroll his 2 dice. He got a resource to spend if he needs to, so he wants to get some of that damage out of Grievous, I think. So and there's certainly a possibility of more useful dice for Dooku.
So have you played this Grievous?
So it looks like Patrick decided to pass.
Okay. Decides not to use that Feel Your Anger. Interesting.
So Patrick, again, deciding he's going to claim now.
Did he have? No, I guess he doesn't. Yeah, he shakes his head. He doesn't have an upgrade to play. Man, that's bad beats for him. So now John, I think,
Yeah.
might want to discard.
I'm guessing that Patrick maybe has some good cards that he is not comfortable with discarding.
Yeah.
Both between not using a reroll here and then not mitigating the 1 damage off Vader.
Yeah, but see, not playing that Feel Your Anger. See, now you're going to get punished for it. He's got a total of 4 damage there. If Patrick really wants to hold on to those cards in his hand, he can't really discard. Yeah, see, he's not even discarding to
Right.
save the damage. So now,
I mean, I don't know. I think you have to discard regardless of how good those cards are.
Yeah.
You're gonna draw more cards.
yep. And now at the end of turn 1, Dooku's sitting with 7 damage on him. This is something I haven't really seen before with Destiny.
Well, he hasn't even got 2 damage off of Grievous, but the whole thing,
Yeah.
he's actually got the ideal situation where they're coming after Dooku, leaving Grievous alone. We've got to get that damage off Grievous while he's still alive, and we've got to be mitigating more on Dooku.
So it looks like Patrick, he drew a Kylo's lightsaber. Now you can't equip that onto Grievous, I don't think, because it does say blue character only. But Patrick instead electing to roll out Grievous here. Looks like just a 2 resource roll, not very.
Not what he was looking
Yeah.
for, I don't think. I don't think there's any way for John to instant kill Dooku here. Force choke going down on to Vader. And Patrick decides that he's going to roll in his Dooku now. Got some damage on Dooku, so that's good. At least be able to get something out before he's out of the game here. But if I'm Patrick, I'm not really liking how the game is flowing. Yeah, I forget the title of that card.
Personal Escort,
Personal
the one that just
I knew it
got
was Escort
discarded.
something.
I mean, with the state that Dooku is in right now, I don't think that's a card that you need to hold on to. So for those who don't know, Personal Escort, it's an upgrade that you can play on any character, and that character just gains Guardian.
Yeah. And then Patrick plays Intimidation to get rid of the Vader 3 damage dice.
Isolation.
Isolation.
Yeah,
sorry.
Intimidation is the one that gets rid of the shields. So John here rolls out 2 damage for 1 resource here on the Tusken Raider side. Doesn't discard to resolve it right away. So Patrick continuing to work on Vader, which is smart. I mean, obviously Dooku doesn't have a lot of time to live right now, but if you can perhaps bring Vader down to a low enough life total that the trades between Dooku and Vader happen, within a turn of each other, I think Patrick can still pull out of this game.
Well, and all of the investment has gone into Vader so far.
Yeah. Ooh, huge. Intimidate. Big Intimidate here.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. I don't think this indicates that he's switching his targets just now, but
No,
Yeah.
he's got the card. He might as well use it now. He gets full value and gets to draw up again. He takes the resources. All right.
I mean, I think this might be a case of Patrick perhaps valuing the cards in his hand a little bit too much.
I think so.
Yeah, doesn't want to reroll here, because it's possible for you to, if you reroll, to get Dooku showing 6 damage. Which, if you're able to do that, that's like basically what, a third, or sorry, almost half of Vader's life total just there.
Interesting. So he left that on the table when he took the resources, and then used the Force to set that to a blank.
A defensive use of Force here, which I think John was just going to discard to roll anyway, so I don't know how useful that
It's still
play
useful.
was.
I mean, he has to roll back into damage.
Yeah. So rolling out the special for Force Training, which allows John to choose between dealing a damage, gaining a shield, and gaining a resource, so you get to pick 2 of those.
Yeah.
So decent roll there. Gets a 1 damage range reroll on Tusken Raider as well. So I think this is him. Patrick playing Feel Your Anger, probably going to remove the Force Training die. Yeah.
I think with John, he just keeps trying to re-roll. Well, no, that's right. It's not that. I got the Vader dice confused.
Yeah, this is the Force Choke. It does have a picture on Vader, though. You're right.
It's been I haven't been playing as much Destiny recently, so a little bit out of practice.
Yeah, I think we're both excited for the pre-release, though. That's going to be happening at the beginning of next month. It's going to give us an opportunity to like play with some of the cards that we can.
He's still taking the damage.
Still taking the damage. Man, what is that card in his hand? I think it's the last card in Patrick's hand. I think it's that Kylo's lightsaber.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, he can't play that. Oh, now he's passing.
Using the armory.
Sorry, he's claiming the battlefield using the armory.
So the armory gives him a 1 point discount to play a upgrade.
But I mean, this guy is just about dead, and I'm not sure if this is the right thing to do here.
Well, I mean, he should get a use. He should be able to. Well, no. Now he's at risk of when the Tusken rolls in. If he rolls in with 3 damage, he can kill Dooku, and there's nothing he can do about it.
Well, I'm sorry, not this turn, right? Because Tusken Raider's already rolled out.
Absolutely. I just mean, so even if Patrick rolls in first with Dooku next turn,
I see.
There's a chance that he won't even get to use the dice.
Yes, you're right. Did Tusken have a 3 melee set?
Does it have a 3 melee for one resource?
Is it 1 range, 1 melee, 2 melee? I can't remember.
I might be wrong.
Right.
I thought it was 3 for 1 resource.
I don't play a lot of Tusken Raiders.
Maybe that's on Gaffy Stick, and again, I'm getting my dice confused.
So there's another deck that I saw at this tournament. I want to feature it on camera at some point. Somebody's playing.
So it's like they're ending the round.
Yeah, somebody's playing Phasma and 2 Tusken Raiders.
All right.
So that's pretty cool. I want to see if we can get that on camera. Okay, so Patrick with a very sickly Dooku, getting the first action this turn. Looks like a lightsaber was drawn. Another Force Strike.
Yeah, rolling out Dooku here, trying to get some value for him before he's gone.
Okay, rolls a 2 melee side. That's decent.
Yep.
John trying to get that sneaky attack in if he rolled a good damage side, but it looks like he just rolled a one shield there.
Yeah, okay. I'm not crazy. It is 3 damage for 1 resource.
Okay.
So
all right.
It did present the potential to kill him.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. It's like I said earlier, I don't play Tusken Raiders all that often, so I couldn't remember. And the screen that I'm looking at right now is a lot smaller than probably what you guys have at home. So Patrick here is resolve, turn a blue die, right? That's what it does. 2. It's side and then resolve it. So it's 3 damage on Vader. Okay. I mean, I think that's probably a decent use for it.
Yep.
Yeah, especially now you follow up with 2 more damage. That would put Vader at a total of 5, 6, 7. So that would put him 6 damage away from death.
I think you can get Vader to 10 before Dooku bites it. I mean, you might be in reasonable shape.
So, do you know, Travis, if the Vader Raider deck runs a lot of control elements? I know there's been, well, speaking of control elements, we see he doesn't like you there. I know that in the past there was before there was a bit of a paradigm shift, especially when Tiny Grimes. Oh, terrible roll.
Yeah, Patrick's not having a lot of luck here.
That the Vader Raider deck was much more focused on sort of no mercies and power of the Force, where it was just almost all blue cards in the deck.
I think it still is. I think there's he doesn't like you is going to be part of it. It's just such a good card.
Right.
I don't know how many other control pieces it's going to have. So Patrick does discard to reroll. He gets a disrupt and some damage.
Vader biding his time replaces his Force Choke because now he figures he has to go on the offensive now. switches his Force Choke to a Kylo's Lightsaber, which in the hands of a double dice Vader actually can deal a lot more damage more consistently than a single dice Dooku.
Right.
So a huge threat right now.
Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't feel like Dooku is going to make it out of this round.
No. And so this is what I was talking about. Earlier builds of the Vader Raider deck, they weren't running stuff like Flamethrower.
They weren't running
Yeah,
as many
so
yellow
this,
cards.
I think this is sort of the new style of Vader Raider deck that's eschewing stuff like No Mercy and Power of the Force
Right.
for singularly more powerful cards, like over Synergy. I mean, because you can also play stuff like Flamethrower on the Tusken Raider as well.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Think about this though. If Patrick had rolled a little bit differently and got some damage out of Grievous, or maybe had done some rerolls.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of investment into Vader that would be
Yep.
going away. And not necessarily even going away. Some of that investment is going to end up on
Right.
Grievous.
Okay, so this is it's a special side on Kylo's lightsaber. Patrick's looking at now, which is, I believe, deal 2 damage. I don't know if it's unblockable. I think it's not, because it also says
No,
if
you
there's
reroll
any
if you take a
shields.
shield off.
Right, if you take shields off, you can reroll the die.
So it's not unblockable, but unblockable doesn't matter here. There are no shields.
Yeah, well,
it's
see-
preventable. Unblockable is still preventable.
Yes. But the thing is, if Dooku decides to shield this Kylo's lightsaber, then he gets it. Oh, that's an interesting play, actually. If you know
He just wants
Dooku's
to get
going
the
to die, right? Yeah, it gets to redeploy. And the other bonus for perhaps killing Vader this game is that Grievous is going to get a chance at getting that flamethrower. I'm not sure if Grievous can grab a Kylo's lightsaber from an opponent that's already fallen. I don't know if that blue character only restriction is only for.
I don't think there's any deployment restrictions to what he grabs.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. I assume his ability is regardless of restrictions.
So if John resolves the lightsaber special on Dooku, Patrick can still shield, but that means, I mean, he can discard the shield,
Right.
but that means that John gets to reroll that die back into the pool. So it's a bit of a lose-lose situation for him. Yeah, he's going to try going for it here. And I think Patrick just realizes, like, yeah, it's not worth it. Moves over the lightsaber to Grievous, and now the work begins on Grievous. So John rolled that huge 4 melee damage side on the flamethrower, and now Grievous is sitting at a mere 6 health here, holding on to a he doesn't like you as well. So he's really set up very well for the next turn, I think.
Oh, he's going to discard it.
Okay. Yeah, I think he also figures. Wow. Okay. Is that 3 or 2 damage? Looks like 2 damage there. Yeah, I think you don't need that control piece anymore. Like, there's really, with only 3 dice on the opponent's side of the table, there's.
Well, no, but he can actually roll out and kill Vader before Vader will do anything if he gets lucky.
Yeah.
Sure, yes. For some reason, I was thinking that Dooku's ability was just to prevent a damage, not that it
Yeah.
was working through his shield. So
But in the scenario you described, he doesn't like you wouldn't help anyway, because
yes,
Vader
yeah.
still needs
Oh,
to
has
roll
no-
out,
has no
right?
dice. You're right. Thank you. But of course, Patrick continues with his spectacular rolls.
Yeah. So I've heard it said that, like, this is why people generally don't like playing like super aggro decks in Destiny right now, because of the reliance on the dice roll and the tempo hit you get from having to discard to roll to reroll.
Sure. So Patrick discards to reroll here. Continues with his spectacular no damage rolls.
Yep. Travis, this is why I play mill decks. You actively try to avoid the damage sides in that tech.
Yeah.
Okay, so discarding a useless deflect, we see a Sith Holocron special, but otherwise not actually a very good roll for John, which is a bit of a break here for Patrick. Sorry.
We'll see if anything comes in with the. I suspect he'll have something with the holocron.
Seeing here that John is a very deliberate player, even when he's far ahead, I feel like he just wants to make sure that everything he does is yeah. I tend to when I tend to pull a little bit ahead. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, when I tend to pull a little bit ahead, I tend to play a lot more sloppily, which probably separates me from some of the better players.
Well, I've also seen in the past John play with his food a little bit, trying to close things out with a lot of damage. It's something that happened.
So like a
Canadian Nationals for Imperial Assault,
like a coup de grace kind of thing. Yeah.
I mean, I've only seen him play. Like, I don't know if that's a very typical behavior, but I did see it from him in the finals of Canadian Nationals for Imperial Assault. Yeah, so force chokes out that die.
You want to, discard to reroll a single die. Not a very good position for Patrick. The roll is a 2 damage side, so far he hasn't rolled the 3 damage side on Grievous, not even once now.
Well, he's never had more than one upgrade. See, I mean, I appreciate stuff here. I would like to just see Patrick finish this off.
Yeah.
He's got a backup muscle in hand as well.
One damage, just Holocron special. This is probably the type of roll that's probably going to force a reroll. So Patrick looks like he just claimed the battlefield there.
To be honest, I don't know if I'd play out the Holocron and I'd save it for more rerolls.
For sure, yeah. Unless there is something that we can't see in John's hand that, for example, a Mind Probe or something like that, that could get him to...
Well, there's no Mind Probe in his hand because it would have already come in.
Oh yeah, for sure. When he rolled the
so there's nothing that's more damage than a force choke in his hand.
Well, I see a backup muscle in his hand. Yeah.
Sure, which is fine. We can do that. But yeah, I would have just been re-rolling with the Holocron because there's no reason to believe this isn't ending this turn.
Yeah. So with the backup muscle, I think this is just the door closing completely on Patrick. Backup muzzle, an amazing finisher. Usually the only support that villain decks play in a lot of decks. So Patrick, having claimed the battlefield, gets to do nothing but watch and see if John doesn't whiff on his rolls. Takes $1. Just deals a damage. Are we going to see a discard reroll? Yeah. Oh, Force Strike. There we go. Okay. That was the card that we didn't see, but that's...
So why take the resource first? Why do everything else instead of just closing the game there?
7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, not sure. Maybe he just didn't do the math correctly or something like that. Anyway, that's showcasing how powerful the Vader Raider deck is, especially the modern incarnation with a lot more of the aggressive melee cards. The elite Dooku, the elite Grievous and Dooku deck is a popular budget choice because it doesn't have any legendaries in it. But as we can see, that sometimes you just you whiff on Grievous, you don't get those rolls. Dooku, especially the 1-dice Dooku, doesn't have the damage output to carry after Grievous dies, and in this case, Grievous was actually the one that was focused down first. So, a rare sequence of events for the Grievous deck to lose. But in the next round, I think I'm going to try to see if we can get that Phasma Tusken Raider deck on. I think it looks really interesting. So we have about 10 minutes until the start of the next round. So
we have 10 minutes until this round's finished.
Oh, yeah.
We might be back a little bit. We're going to assume that it's going to go to time.
Yep.
But we may end up being back more quickly. There's only 8 people in the tournament today, so if everyone's wrapped up, we may jump quickly into the next round. But we'll be back in a few minutes.
Thanks. All right, welcome back, guys, to round 2 of this Game Night Kit here at 401 Games. So again, we're doing we have 10 players, I think. I don't know if we mentioned that it was 8 or 10 players.
Yeah, I don't think we mentioned it.
Yeah. But that's actually pretty good considering it's March. It's the start of March break here in Canada. There might be a bunch of people that are going off on vacations with their family, that sort of thing. In addition, there's actually quite a lot of other events, I think, happening in Toronto. There's a huge board gaming convention this weekend that a lot of people might be going to. Some people that might be playing Destiny.
That's a good point. I forgot about BreakoutCon.
Some people that might be playing Destiny and who are both Destiny and Magic players. There are a couple of higher level Magic tournaments happening this weekend in Toronto as well.
And I think people are just kind of holding out for Spirit of the Rebellion. So I think there's some people who are probably waiting, ready for the new set to come out.
Yeah. Although it is interesting to see here that the what we're basically watching right now is what the world's meta is going to be, more or less. Because FFG has already said that they're not going to make Spirit of Rebellion legal for Worlds in May, so that's the first weekend of May that's gonna.
Just too bad. I think it would have made it a bit more interesting.
Yeah, for sure. But I also think, maybe they were just. They probably also wanted to say that even if they weren't exactly sure that it would come under the line or not, because as we both know that
They've not had a lot of reliability with their product.
yeah, well, not only that, but there is I think it's an 11-day delay between the release of a product and whether it's eligible for a premier event, and it's better to tell people whether or not it's going to be legal right now than to leave people wondering.
So for this round 2 match, we have Gary playing the Elite Bala Django Trooper deck that we've all seen a lot of, and Brian is playing Elite Han, Elite Ray, another kind of familiar side of tournaments. So it looks like Brian run the roll off and chose to go with his
And
his battlefield, and the 2 shields ended up on Bala.
yeah, so we see here some really cool custom 3D printed tokens that both these guys have. So Gary informed me that the damage tokens that he has are also going to be 3D printed. The black ones I think are 1 damage, and the red ones are 3 damage. So 2 shields on Balatik, which is generally the first thing people go after, even though Django's like really dangerous in this deck too.
So ambush and a holdout blaster on Ray, getting a shield for the ambush. Rolls in Han, deciding what he's going to use that damage or take another action.
So, as we were discussing, I think previous month when we were talking about, actually there was a matchup that was exactly this against 2 different players. We had the strategy of turn 1, you could play a holdout blaster on Ray, and then roll out Han, hoping to roll the 2 disrupt side, which can be a huge tempo swing in the favor of the Han Ray player.
Yes.
When your opponent can't play any upgrades on turn 1 as a result.
So rolls Django as a reaction to Ray.
What was it? I guess he rolled it too. I'm not sure why he fiddled with a die afterward. So now it's back to Gary here. Or, yeah. Plays Jetpack on Balatik.
Not sure Brian's thrilled to have that second chance in his hand right off the bat, but
yeah, I'm not sure if he mulliganed at the beginning or not.
he did mulligan for a couple cards.
Yeah.
He kept 3 maybe? Like, either kept 3 or 2, I didn't see. Hunker down on Ray.
That's not usually something you see, right, in Han Ray decks?
No, well, I mean, it can vary who's going to be the first target, but she's got easily redeployed stuff on her. I think people would be going after Han with only 1 shield so far.
Yeah. So roll up at Balatik, see here.
So he played the hunker down and he took a shield. I'm not sure why he took 2 actions.
You're talking about Brian? Well, because of Ray's ability, right? Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay,
I'm
I
really
know,
out of practice.
because it's not an
die.
upgrade with die, right? So you automatically assume. So Gary is showing 4 damage, 5 damage, I think, looks like, between Django and Baltic die, and 1 disrupt side on the jetpack there.
Why aren't you here playing, Shane?
Well, no, it's good Shane didn't show up because he would be 11.
That's
I
true.
think, yeah.
Sorry,
But then that also
responding to Tad.
I think that also means that Shane could be here talking, doing commentary instead. And I think Shane is a lot of more experience at this point than I am, especially playing this stuff. So it looks like here 4 damage went on Ray, resolving that dice. And so the three damage is that red pyramid, and the 1 damage is the black pyramid on Ray's card here.
Yeah. So overwrites the hold-up blaster with jetpack. Wants to be able to pull that blaster back with the graveyard. But given with the number of activations that he's doing, I'm not sure that he will get to claim this turn.
Yep. Now, did Brian just take another shield there? Did
He
Ray
just
have
hunkered
one
down.
shield at the start?
No.
Oh, okay. You're
So
saying
he claimed a shield die.
right. Okay.
Then he used Hunger Die now. Hunger down now.
Discarding flank here on Gary's side to reroll gets a useless jetpack special. Well, almost useless, that is. Jetpack is one of those cards where I don't know. I'm like, sometimes it can be an amazing card, but like other times, like especially in the meta, the way it is right now, where people tend to be playing a lot more ranged damage decks. That special really doesn't do much aside from being another like shield side on the die. Like no doubt, when you roll, a damage side and you roll like the modifier sides on jetpack, it can be huge. But like I'm becoming less and less impressed with jetpack's consistency the more I play with it.
All right, so here Brian claims the battlefield, puts the hold-up blaster back on the top of his deck for next round. Yeah, that back. I hate seeing that backup muscle.
So Ray's sitting with 5 damage on her now. 7 damage left to go. Or sorry, she's 10 health, right? Sorry. It's 10 health, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, so 50%.
Gotta get rid of that hold-up blaster die. There we go.
Well, not for long though.
Yeah, not for long.
Yeah. So drawing into a second chance, electroshock. I see
That second chance.
Yeah. Although, I don't see.
Something just
He must
here.
have. Okay.
Oh no, it's not.
No. He might have mulliganed that away or something. But anyway, I also see a riposte
Yeah.
in Brian's hand. So here comes a hold up blaster. Ambush gives Han a shield. Second action rolls out Ray.
Once you
Or
get-
sorry, the first extra action is to roll out Ray. Shane says it's the race to find one with the force now before Ray dies, and yes, you're right about that. Generally, the play is to throw one with the force if Ray's getting focused down, so you can get that as a support later on.
So Django's rolling as a reaction.
Rolls 1 resource, 2 damage on Django right now.
Puts
No, I think you roll out Han now. Disrupt. Thinking about it.
It's not a bad move here. He just doesn't. He wouldn't want to do. He wants to make sure that Ray survives this round.
I don't know, like playing hunker down. See, okay, well, I mean, he didn't know the on the hunt was there, but like using the hunker down there where there's no immediate danger to Ray, like I would rather just roll out Ray. I think. Yeah, disrupt not bad here, but it wouldn't have stopped that on the hunt. I think.
No.
So here comes the Han roll here. It looks like, I can't tell, 2 or 3 damage there. Looks like a 2 damage side and a 1 resource side on Han's side, or on Han's dice there. And here comes the big Baltic roll. Lots of disrupt happening in this game. 1 discard on the hunt die, 2 shields, 1 disrupt, 1 discard. And is this a riposte here? Maybe? Or is it a discard to reroll? Looks like a discarding the riposte to reroll. Now, riposte and Deflect. Those are two cards whose artwork are very similar, so I always get those two things confused. Reroll, not very good one though.
Got a little bit more damage, but
Yeah. Yep, 4 damage showing now. Here comes the trooper with his typical blank side.
living up to the archetype. And the second discard the second chance to get another reroll here. No damage and
Jetpack special.
Jetpack special.
So we've seen that this is a typical weakness of the Han-Rei deck because the two characters have different damage sides, and especially because Rei has that modifier melee side, sometimes it's really hard to get really huge damage rolls to line up. The strength of the Han-Rei deck obviously is the ability to take multiple actions in sequence. However, you know, once you get past that initial burst, you kind of have to hope that your dice roll well to carry yourself to the finish line.
So Gary Electro shocked out the free damage die out from Han, and Brian takes 2 resources as a response. I think we're going to see a reroll here.
It's discarding an arm to the teeth, I believe it is.
Yep. Having some trouble rolling with such a big mid dice, but
okay, there's a on the hunt special, a jetpack special, which it's not doing anything right now, besides giving a shield, I guess. Now, does jetpack special give the shield to the character the jetpack's equipped on? Okay.
so I think we're going to see an electroshock on the hunted die here.
Yep.
And I suspect we'll see 3 damage go to Rei. 1 comes through, taking her to a total of 6 damage.
Jetpack special here. Yep, removing that one. Okay, so a rare use for that jetpack special side there. Gets shield back. And looks like maybe Brian's going to probably throw that 2 dice on Django. Gary being very smart here. Like when I play this Bala Django Trooper deck, there's definitely a tendency to try to load Django up with a lot of upgrades. Well, number one, because Bala Tik is so fragile, but also you want to get that huge roll out of sequence.
Right.
But yeah, Django, a lot of times does try to get focused down. So I think it is a smarter play to put upgrades on Bala, especially if you're able to kill one of your opponent's characters before Bala dies. Get that reroll; it's huge.
It's nice. They don't mind trading resources, so he just actually took the damage from backup muscle and put it right on.
Yeah.
He does use the 2 damage there, but it does allow Gary to claim the battlefield. I don't think Brian had anything good on the top of his deck though, or in his discard pile, so I don't think it would have been a hugely valuable one for him anyways.
So now I did see a 1 with the force that Brian just drew, so perfect timing here. Assuming he can get that down, he's going to have to overwrite a holdout blaster or wait for more money. He can potentially get it down before Rei dies here.
Well, he's happy to overwrite the holdout blaster and get that back and cycled through.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Okay, so Gary rolling looks like a +3 on that jetpack, +1 on the hunt.
It's the fail damage to Rei here. So
I think you just slapped that 1 with the force on right now.
well, you can also use Hunker Down to give him enough shields to survive.
Oh, sure, yeah. No, I don't know if the Hunker Down would save because Rei has 7 damage on her.
Oh, yeah, 7. Sorry,
Yeah.
I thought it was 6.
Daring escape. Whoa. So, rerolls, and then we see him removing the blank, spends all his money here, gets a on the hunt special, which is relevant here. Ambush. So ambush gave Han a shield. Now he gets second action because
He's not gonna turn on ambush here because he doesn't have room for more shields than Han.
Right. Is that how it works? So you can't play.
You can use it still, but I think he may want to save it and play that card later on when he can get a shield on it.
Yep.
He has a riposte in hand, right? So he can do it later.
Draw attention. So that's another card. Actually, I don't know if is a staple in Han Rey decks. I also saw Negotiate in Brian's hand. So this is like a little bit more of a controlling version. You know, if you look at the Hunker Down, the Draw Attention, and the Negotiates. So not quite as hyper aggressive as many other Han Rey decks that we've seen.
Trooper doing Trooper things.
Yeah, you're just setting up the more dice for the reroll here, I think. Okay, so Shane in chat saying that it's actually pretty staple now, so it shows you how far behind I am. Which I think makes sense. If you're going to spend a lot of time trying to sculpt your rolls and everything, and if you're not going to be able to kill them very quickly, and then as Shane says in the chat, if the common wisdom is to try to kill Rey first, then you know Han's not taking any damage because he's shielding up constantly. Then it's probably a really good idea to play Draw Attention.
Just tired of waiting.
Yeah,
with
just
Django.
Rolls in now Brian goes ahead and rolls out 2 here. And we see here discard side, a plus damage side. Looks like another +3, but no other range sides for now. So passes back to Gary.
Discards to reroll 4 of his dice. So it does get some damage and focus for some more damage. So reasonably good reroll. Yeah, with the on the hunt die there, that sets up to have enough to kill Rey. But yeah, even with taking one more shield, he still could theoretically kill Rey.
So resolves 2 resources on the hunt in response. Looks like he removed Rey's shields and now is choosing to perhaps remove the jetpack die, maybe? Well, no, that wouldn't make sense because Han's already rolled out. Maybe Gary doesn't want to, It doesn't look like Gary wants to spend that resource to remove a die. Negotiate could be huge now that Gary only has 3 dice on the table. It's one of those rare circumstances. I think Negotiate is kind of card where, there has to be a lot of things in the board state that have to go right. Like, your opponent has to have a lot. Okay, yeah, your opponent needs to have, not a lot of dice on the table, and you obviously have to have a character dice rolled out that you don't mind losing. So we're going to see here the resolution of Negotiate. Right. Did he remove it? Yeah, I think he removed the die already. So there goes Gary's dice. So he's either going to have to pass, maybe perhaps use that backup muscle this turn, or just claim the battlefield here. I think claiming the battlefield is a really good idea because you're further denying Brian the ability to rebuy any of those annoying attachments. So it looks like he just claimed the battlefield here. Brian asking to see what's in Gary's discard pile. Not enough money to overwrite the holdout blaster with one of the force, but that's not. I don't know if that's something you really care about doing just now. Puts a shield on Ray. That jetpack is probably going to go unused here or unrolled. Yep. So it looks like he passes as well. Going on to the next turn. So an unpredictable I see in Brian's hand, another infamous. I think it's a good. I think it would be a good idea this turn. Looks like Brian forgot to take his 2 resources.
Yeah. Bunch
So
of
we'll
guns
see if
and
he-
Gary's
yeah,
hand.
see if he fixes that in a second.
See a holdout blaster, yeah. But
So for all of Brian's tricks, it doesn't really look like he's done a lot of damage to Gary's side of the board.
no, it's not.
Yeah. Okay. Politic rolling out here. Looks like +1 melee, 1 range, 1 focus, and a jetpack special again. A jetpack special has a habit of showing up when it's not needed. And finally, we see the one with the force overwriting the jetpack, that is. Giving Ray that extra action here. Always feels good when you're able to roll out a 1 with the force and use it before Ray dies, thus giving you basically an extra free dice. Man, I see another one
I
with
know,
the
I think
force
he's trying to
in
figure out
it,
how he
guys.
gets one more resource.
Yeah.
Did he take his extra action? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Roll it out. Roll out. Roll out.
Roll out. You want to roll out Han maybe to see if you can try to get a resource to play another one with the force?
No, I think you roll out to try to get some use out of those dice before.
Sure.
Like if you can get 2 uses out of the use of one with the force dice this turn, then that's gravy.
Yeah. Although I mean, you do have 7 total damage to chew through on Ray's side. So, maybe Brian thinks that he has some time here.
Well, I guess right. It's only 5 more. Yeah.
So someone asked in chat if you can buy these 3D printed tokens somewhere. I'm not sure if you can. I think this sort of thing you can find on Thingiverse. It's a website that you can get 3D printer shapefiles from. But I can definitely ask these 2 guys after the game where they got their stuff from. We can pass that information off to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, looks like 1 melee, 2 ranged on Brian's side here, and a discard and a resource side.
Yeah, I think this can go either way, really.
Yeah.
I mean, he still has not got any damage on Gary's side of the table, but
Yeah, usually games between these 2 types of decks, like they tend to be a lot more brutal than what we're seeing right now. But if it's truly the case that the Han Ray decks have slowed down quite a bit, become more controlling, then I'm not really all that surprised to see
I
this.
suppose he could use this one with
Yeah.
the force and potentially get a second one out.
Yep. So see another riposte in Brian's hand, and unpredictable. No, Brian, you cannot use unpredictable and infamous to get double ambush. So he decides to reroll Gary's dice. It's a +1 melee, so a bit of a. I don't think that was a change, right? It was already a +1 melee.
No, I think he must have re-rolled it. He was re-rolling it off the special side.
I see. Okay, and then with the ambush, rolls out Han here. Looks like a 3 damage side on Han's side of the board, so that looks like a total of 5 damage. You throw that into Django, and then you could probably finish him off with a riposte here. See if Gary has any control elements in his hand. taking out Django here is probably going to be like it's going to be decent, but then that hold up blaster is probably going to go right onto Balatik. Although I will say that after that initial burst of damage that Gary had on Ray, like he hasn't seemed to follow it up much. So like we're already 20 minutes into this match. I would have expected to see like some characters dead at this point.
Right. Yeah, and I think looks much more likely to get Django will die before anyone on Brian's side.
So tactical mastery, I see
There's an
electroshock,
there.
and it looks like a cannon fodder too. So it's all control. Well, 2 control elements and a bit of a surprise here. So he does play the tactical mastery. So what's he gonna do with it though? He's gonna get a reroll, probably trying to get like some surprise damage on the Ray before she gets to resolve any of her dice here. Yeah. So reroll gets a on the hunt special. Gary does have one more action after this. He actually rolls a +2 modifier in the jetpack.
So he's looks like he's well, he needs 2 actions, but
Yeah. So what do you do here? Do you resolve on the hunt special, or do you just go for the 4 damage?
I
kind of feel like you're leaving damage on the table if you just deal the 4 damage right now, right? And then on the hunt, well, I guess you could put it on Han, but like that's not really your target right now.
Or you could use your focus to set up more damage.
Yeah, or maybe you do switch targets to Han now. Like once you have that on the hunt, right? You can remove that 3 damage side that Han's showing, assuming Brian doesn't resolve it right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of different options here.
Yeah, it's funny to think, and Shane mentioned this in chat, like how like basically a lot of this game's like control has sort of centered around on the hunt special die.
Right.
Yeah.
Blue cubes are the shield. That's right.
Yeah. Alexis, blue cubes are the shield. The red pyramids are 3 damage, and the black pyramids are 1 damage.
So yeah, if you're at the table, you can see the kind of inscriptions on everything, but without paint, it doesn't stand out quite enough for the camera.
Yeah. They do look pretty cool though. Especially like 3D printed tokens. They have like a really good feel, especially for fidgety people like myself. And I highly recommend if anybody has a library that has a 3D printer, if you get like a library card, then you can schedule some 3D printing time. You can download a lot of these things that you can find. I know that I got some custom Armada token trays off Thingiverse, and I was able to schedule like some time, and the library 3D printer got that stuff printed out. I was really happy with the result.
Yeah, usually you have to do a training course, but it's still worth doing.
Yeah. So there we go.
I don't know if I would do this before using the hold up blaster die.
It's true. Yeah. Oh man. Okay. So let's see if he. Well, I might have to jump in and remind them. Yeah. So because he looks like he's about to resolve that 2 dice. So yeah, there. It's. I think Gary just reminded him that you can't actually do that. So good catch there, Gary. So perhaps Brian just sort of realizing, yeah, Gary caught it already.
As soon as I get up.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Huge. Okay. So it looks like Ray does go down, but fortunately she was able to get those 2-1 with the forces ready to go.
Actions?
Yeah. I think it was the on the hunt first, and then Gary Brian in response played the second one with the force.
Yep.
And then tried to resolve with her second action, and then realized you couldn't. So there's 3 damage onto Django there. I think Gary's happy with that trade though. And yep, Gary remembers that Balatik indeed has a special ability on him. Something that I think one of our previous Bala Django Trooper players missed. 4 yellow dice coming at Brian. Looks like a disrupt, +1 range side and a resource side.
Yeah, I think with those yellow resource tokens, if you did like a black wash, the grooves would stand out and these look great.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I'm not sure how the wash would stand up to that 3D printed plastic though, because it's like some kind of polylactic acid or something
Yeah,
like that.
it
I'm not
depends.
sure, yeah. Okay, so three damage side, showing on one with the force dice, and a 2 shield side. Don't you feel like one of the force should be a unique? I realize that like it's possible to have multiple dead Jedi
Sure.
following you around, but like it's kind of weird having 2 Ben
Well,
Kenobi.
it's weird that one thing dies and gives you 2 ghosts.
Yeah.
Alright. Oh, not quite dead yet. Oh. Should be at 9, no shields.
No, there we go. So what do you think? Well, like you could do a riposte to finish off Django. That's probably a good idea here, I think.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We'll see how badly he needs
What?
the
What?
shields.
Is there a base damage?
There's
to it?
no
No
base
base damage. Brutal. There is an on the hunt, so maybe you may just throw off the riposte now, make that on the hunt useless. Yeah. Whoa.
What are you doing?
Well, I guess because Brian has that 2 shield side showing on the one with the force, it's not that big of a deal. Maybe he's, but and Gary doesn't have a resource to make him remove that die either. So maybe he's trying to bait Gary into doing it.
Yeah,
So, oh, and man, that was okay. So he shouldn't really have done that. So that's just an incorrect sequencing on Brian's part.
Yeah.
He should have riposted first and then either passed, or hopefully to save the, because he was going to lose the shields anyway, I think. So he missed killing Django, which actually might turn out to be a fatal mistake for him there.
yeah.
So we're going on to the next turn. Brian had claimed the battlefield, and I didn't see what he put on top of his deck. Did you? I think it was a holdout blaster. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Han is not going to belong to this world.
No. It's debatable whether or not Brian would have been able to win this game if Django died last turn. I'm not sure because.
Well, I mean, there was first the 2 damage of
Yeah.
the hold-up blaster that he overwrote earlier.
Right.
That
Yeah.
would have been enough to kind of finish it off.
So I don't think I've seen Brian at these tournaments, so it's quite possible he's like a newer player. Gary is someone that that plays a lot of the Star Wars FFG games, so he might be introducing Brian to
Yeah,
this
I've
'cause they
seen,
do
I've seen
this
Gary
tournament.
even at the Destiny events before. I haven't seen Brian out
Yeah.
before today.
So 4 damage here on Django. So this is definitely paying the price for that mistake or that missed damage earlier. So resolves 4 damage
Yeah, like-
onto Han.
Once again, you roll it to use the one with the force first.
Yeah.
That way you can potentially not. Django has an opportunity for damage.
For
so
sure,
If you roll
yeah.
well enough, I mean, theoretically he should be rolling Django right away
Exactly.
anyways.
So this is all the hallmarks, and like to take nothing away from Brian, these are all
Yeah.
the hallmarks of like a person who may not be as experienced with the Han Ray deck as some other players that we've seen. So here's Gary rolling out. We see another modifier side, but no base side to go with it. Brian responds by putting 2 shields back on Han. The specter of On the Hunt has overshadowed pretty much a major portion of this game. So here we go. Stormtrooper finally gains the confidence to shoot straight. Rolls a 2 range side here. Yeah. 3 disrupt, not going to do much this game. And here comes, looks like 4 damage onto Han.
Yep.
So Han hanging by a thread, 2 HP left.
Oh. I guess he could have pulled the second chance back off the top, but
Yeah. Alexis, that's correct. Django is at 1. I think by our estimation, Django should be dead already. but he's definitely paying the price now. So, re-roll. This is a huge roll, actually. This is like a one-shot worthy roll. 3, 4, 5, arm to the teeth to finish it off. Okay. There's the coup de grace there. So congratulations to Gary for winning. It was a game that had a lot of back and forth. This victory came in just under the wire with 23 seconds left in the round. So thankfully, there's not going to be a huge break before we start the next round. But thank you all for watching, and we will be back shortly for round 3. Welcome back, guys, for round 3. So this is going to be a 4-round tournament. I think we mentioned at the beginning. Going into round 3, we've decided to maybe send, like, we have a bunch of players who are at the top tables right now. There's 10 players, so this is about the game that we're showcasing right now is the Middle Impact. The reason why we're doing it is I think that both these decks are fresh and interesting, and maybe something that you quite don't see all the time if you go to like a local game night or tournament, or a GNK like we're having right here. So the players are just getting ready. I don't think they've rolled yet. We haven't started the clock, so we're just getting everybody situated, sat down, have their washroom breaks and whatnot, and then we're going to start the clock shortly, I think. All right, guys, you can start your round.
I was going to join in for 3 and 4, but I'll get mine.
So it looks like David's done some tournaments before. He has some of the tokens for the first game, or for the Q1 kit.
They haven't rolled out yet, have they?
No, they haven't. They're just getting set up.
So yeah, Lucas is. I think I've been seeing him more and more. He plays X-wing mostly, but he does like playing this deck.
Yeah, so Mulligan's 3 cards,
Yeah,
and looks like
Dave Mulligan's 4 cards.
I think so.
Yeah.
There could be another one under there. Those are nice sleeves, though. I mean, I like the art sleeves. The art sleeves are just so cheaply made compared to most
Yeah,
of the sleeves. I just cannot.
They split super easy.
Yeah, and they don't shuffle nicely. I cannot bring myself to use them.
I like the KMC Hypermats. I think those are my favorites.
I use them for the character backs and
Yeah.
battlefields, and that's about all I can stand. So yeah, we have Lucas playing a Qui-Gon Ray deck against something a little bit more unusual, like you said, where David's playing a Phasma and two Raiders. So obviously, Phasma's ability, she has to be unexhausted, right?
Nope.
Okay.
Just grants each of your non-unique characters on your team Guardian. So, David perhaps breaking what a lot of people think is the cardinal rule of Destiny right now, which is you must play a deck that has 4 character dice.
Yeah.
But I thought this was something that might be interesting to show on stream. I don't know what's in Dave's deck, so we're going to be going through this journey of discovery along with you.
So we're using David's battlefield.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it was his decision. His role looked pretty bad. I think it was probably Lucas decided that he would take the shields.
Yeah.
It's always a helpful start when you're playing a Qui-Gon deck.
So I was taking a quick glance at David's hand just now. It looks like like a lot of Phasma builds, this is very control-y. Obviously, there is a little less synergy between Phasma and Tusken Raiders compared to, say, Phasma and Troopers, because those Tusken Raiders have melee sides.
Yeah.
But interestingly enough, I saw a couple of disarms. I really like
I'm not sure I
disarms.
would have bothered
as
with
an
the
idea.
hunker down against this matchup.
Yeah. Or if you do play a hunker down, I think you play it later in the turn after all the stuff's been.
So you can build up
used.
a couple 2 shields in the next round.
So this is an unexpected advantage for Lucas versus a Guardian deck, because Qui-Gon doesn't really care. Qui-Gon's ability doesn't really care if your opponents have Guardian or not. So correctly focusing down the Phasma, if you're able to kill Phasma early, that of course means that you can shut off a lot of these red events that Dave probably has in his deck.
So we see on the hunt, not only removing the 2 shields, but also spending the 1 to remove the shield dice from Qui-Gon. Victor's just going to fix something there. Yeah, just making sure we get rid of the battlefield that we're not using. He may have destroyed half of our setup and scrambling to get out of here. But we'll get this back up and running. Jedi Rose focus deck is going to go to get a resource. Rolling in the other Raider here, get a shield. That'll be helpful.
Oh, here we go. Yep. That's a good move, because if your opponent really wants to resource that badly, there must be something in his hand he wants to play. Deflect probably wasn't it.
Nobody's happy to get rid of Deflect.
Yeah, I do see a one with the Force in Lucas's hand, though. Okay, so that is Dave claiming the battlefield there, I think.
I'm not sure what they're doing with the battlefield there. I'm pretty sure Lucas claimed it.
So I just saw an armed with a teeth in Dave's hand. This is actually really cool. So a lot of Red X villain decks, they have access to a lot of really good red weapons, but I think just quickly glancing at his hand and what he's drawn so far, I think there's almost zero. There might be almost zero red ranged cards in Dave's deck here.
A lot of modifier dice and a discard there. Not really going to be that useful.
Whoa. Okay. Well, here's another game where On the Hunt special may actually be quite relevant. Yeah. So Ray's modifier dice finally finds a friend. Looks like 2 1 damage sides on Qui-Gon's. So that's a total of 4 melee damage coming at whoever he chooses. Of course, Dave probably will Guardian away something here. Of course, you could. Well, Dave doesn't have a resource, otherwise he'd be able to use the On the Hunt to remove Ray's shield and get rid of that +2 modifier die. But
I would have been tempted. You can use that on the. You can use the Guardian on the modifier dice as well, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, I would have been tempted to pull the 2 damage there.
He doesn't, of course. So that means Lucas right away resolves 3 damage on Phasma. So Phasma's sitting at 7 health remaining. So now he gets that resource, which turns on the Hunt special ability, at least the second half of it anyway. 2 damage side also showing on Dave's dice. And here's a discarding take cover, is it? Yeah, for a reroll. And Cunning. So Cunning, let's see, Cunning gets Force Training, gets another On the Hunt activation if he so chooses. And David
They discarded a card to immediately use that ability.
Yep. So it looks like he might probably use the Force Training here. That's the only one that really makes sense. So put a shield on Phasma and either deal a damage or take a resource.
Deals damage to Qui-Gon. Lucas takes a resource, back now action on David. 2 damage to Qui-Gon.
Continue to focus on him, leaving that On the Hunt die out there just in case Lucas tries to start putting shields on him again.
Claims the battlefield.
Claims the battlefield, but for no effect.
So another shield on Phasma, presumably, and then he'll strip the shield from Bryce. Oh, he's considering a reroll here, but it's not really going to get a better result. So
that's interesting. I saw leadership in Dave's hand. That's a pretty cool use for Phasma. Like I'm really impressed to see that after all this time, with such a limited card pool, I'm still seeing like a bunch of new and interesting ways to put together the same 200 cards. Yeah, so this definitely seems like the kind of deck that plays a majority of yellow upgrades. Like even now, I still don't see any red upgrade cards. I see a flamethrower. So I think what this deck does is that it puts the majority of its upgrades on the Tusken Raiders, maybe. Which is weird considering that they also have Guardian due to Phasma.
well, you're probably going to put some on there.
Well, Cunning, you're
You're going to load one up.
Yeah, Cunning, you're kind of forced to put it on a Tusken Raider, I suppose, because it has to be on a yellow character.
But if you can load up one Tusken Raider,
Yep.
You kind of get them to say, well, should I be killing the Tusken? Should I be killing Phasma?
For sure, yeah.
So whenever you convince him to split damage, it's good. So we saw him override the Jedi robes to put one with the Force on Qui-Gon.
So here's the second cunning. Okay, so he's kind of declared that the Tusken Raider on the bottom of the screen to be the sacrificial lamb in this game.
He's going to take a blaster to the face right here, I'm guessing.
Yeah, electroshock won't quite remove that die,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Disarm won't do anything against Lucas's deck at the moment. Well, aside from the fact that he hasn't actually rolled out any dice. But yes, the smart play is to eat that 3 damage. There we go. Rolls out, gets looks like a 2. Is it a 3 melee side?
It is
Yeah,
a
it's
3
a 3
melee
melee
side.
side.
He's gonna choose to
And
use it
resolves
right
it right away. Okay.
I understand that. It's a shield-heavy deck, so...
Yeah. Brutal.
That hurts.
Brutal.
Oh, he actually rolled the dice wrong.
Oh, okay. So he's gonna... I guess... Okay, so they just decide quickly to just
They'll let
fix
it stand.
Lab. Yeah. Seems like the most fair way to resolve that. Do you ever find that when you tend to pick up and roll dice very quickly, you get a lot of blank sides? Like, I don't know. Versus just like shaking it for 5 seconds and dumping it onto the table?
No, I do not.
Okay, well...
I guess it doesn't really matter how I roll, I just find I get a lot of blanks.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So it discards a Force Training for a reroll.
Okay, this is looks like 3-1 damage sides. So for a total of 3 damage onto Phasma.
Well, no, I think he's going to pull one onto the Raider.
Yeah, he's going to eat Qui-Gon, yeah.
But I think at this point, you consider switching over.
Yeah.
Because there's 7 to kill,
Yep.
and then it's right now 9 to kill Phasma, so...
So it looks like 2 discard sides for the Cunning, plus a 1 range side on that Tusken Raider. Yeah, no sense to discard to resolve any of those faces.
So willpower, it's going to move another...
Probably onto Phasma or the loaded up Tusken, yeah.
He's having a hard time deciding here. So he puts it up to 5 on that Tusken. He's going to make him discard his other 2 cards. So it's Force Throw.
Looks like another 2 resource card. Can't tell if it's an upgrade or not. It looks like it has that yellow uncommon symbol, so I think it's like it's an event of some sort.
Yes.
Yeah. Three chances to get on the hunt. Yeah. So I mean,
2 more damage to Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon sitting at 8 damage, 3 HP left. I'm like surprised. Okay, so there's the Tusken Raider going down, deals 1 damage to the thing, and yeah, it's quite possible that Lucas doesn't want to play a Force Throw while your opponent has 2 Cunning sitting on the table. So this deck is turning out to be a lot more, has a lot more teeth than I thought it did. Because generally when I think of 3 1-dice characters, like I feel like it's a slow train that takes a long time to build up, but and it's not like Hired Gun that has 2 resource sides. So either David's dice are favoring him this game, or there's just something that he's discovered that like nobody else has really found.
Is it's either 2 or 3 focus?
Yep, I believe it's a 2 focus. Guardian eats the Qui-Gon damage die here, putting that Tusken Raider on 3. About to roll out those 3 yellow dice there. 1 disrupt, 1 resource, and 1 more resource. And I think there's an Armed with the Teeth still sitting in David's hand, so it's quite possible that if he can put 1 more damage on the Qui-Gon, he can just finish him off, sort of out of nowhere. And I believe Armed with the Teeth does have to be upgrades on a yellow character, so David will have to make sure that he's able to do that before that Tusken Raider dies. Of course, once Qui-Gon dies, that means 1 of the Force is available to get rerolled again.
Slayer Willpower, moving over to the Tusken Raider. Gonna roll out Phasma here.
So on the hunt again, Jetpack, both relevant right now. Well, maybe not so relevant because there were no melee sides rolled, but you're just going to keep it out there just in case your Lucas decides to reroll his dice.
1 damage showing, but he can focus now into fail damage. Well, if it is the 2 focus, oh no, he can't because it's only 2 focus. Yes, he can. But if it is the focus, you may want to use the electroshock.
Hey, Dave, loading up on money here. Lucas responding by using his focus to change Qui-Gon's into a 2 die and Ray maybe into the modifier side. I mean, it's risky if your opponent has.
So it was a 3 modifier.
He doesn't
so he
like
couldn't
you.
electroshock.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So this is looking to be a 5 damage, and then that was. What was that?
That was
Oh, that was the Jetpack resolution. Yeah. Oh, that's true. I mean, I guess David could have resolved the on the hunt to remove the focus die on.
No, he
You're
had
not allowed to do that because
well,
you
no, he
don't
hadn't
have
had a chance to activate after he rolled. Yeah.
I see.
Isn't there a great way to put more damage on a Qui-Gon here?
Yeah, with that one focus on Phasma's side, unfortunately, there's not. The other 2 dice don't have a damage side, I believe, or if they do, it's not a non-modifier side. So Lucas might get away with Qui-Gon living another turn.
Yeah, it's one damage away from making this work.
So although, I mean, he does actually he changes that to a special which can resolve Force Training's ability,
Yeah,
and then you can throw the
So one
throw the
charge
stuff
damage.
onto it.
Oh, no, that's enough damage.
Yeah,
No,
that would
that's
be enough.
one charge.
Well, no, Lucas I think has 9 damage on him now. I think there might
No,
be
because
some.
he willpowered.
Right. Okay. True.
Oh, but he had the backup muscle.
Yeah. So I guess
Oh, he didn't have the resources for him?
maybe not.
I'm slightly confused now.
So again, that on the that arm to the teeth is threatening a kill. You can just outright kill Lucas, assuming Lucas doesn't somehow put shields on Qui-Gon. And I think you just fired off. Yeah, here we go. So that's a dead Qui-Gon. Got 1 with the Force, refreshes, puts the die back on. And no, Lucas, you don't discard it. I'm gonna go and fix that game.
He's not discarding it. He's got the dice still.
Right, but the card itself should still be on the table. is
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
I think
Yeah.
he'll correct this one. Okay. I've got faith.
So we have a fresh Ray though, and we have 2 moderately damaged characters on one side.
Surprised he didn't roll. Oh yeah, he got no dice on that. Raider. I'm surprised he didn't roll the Raider, but
No. Shane, I think David with the cunning, he took the shield and did the 1 damage, and then yeah, you're right. Lucas remembers that 1 of the Force is still on the table as a support, and resolves that 3 focus side. Although wait, hold on a second. So once Qui-Gon dies, that die should have been removed, so he couldn't actually resolve it.
I
don't think that's true. I think the die doesn't go back.
I don't-
It's
I-
not like redeploy. Yeah, you're
don't
right.
know 100%, and we're not judges here,
Yeah.
so we don't like to interfere with the game if it's unless it's particularly egregious, or if there's a conflict between the players. Although there's not really a judge today, so we probably are on the hook for that.
He discarded a card to get that one resource because he knew the Tusken Raider was going to die there. All right, so now it's a showdown between Phasma and Rey, and actually Lucas has made this into a game. I wasn't optimistic about Lucas' chances, but you know he's got a one with the Force die that he just rolled out. Of course, Rey's already used his die for the turn, but unless Dave can get any Dave needs to get a ranged side on Phasma specifically because the On the Hunt die doesn't have a non-modified ranged side. And yes, yeah, I realize now that one with the Force is not like redeploy where you have to remove the dice if it's on the table already rolled out. You just get a free roll again. Resolves a discard side. Dave probably... Oh, deflect, that's actually relevant. Dave probably realizing he only has a 1 in 3 chance of getting that range side, so there's really no point in discarding cards chasing after it.
Right. It's kind of late for It Binds All Things, but he's going to just be discarding the card anyway, so why not?
So, see a dodge in Lucas's hand, see a riposte.
See Ray Staff? Oh, that's in Lucas's hand.
I see an infamous.
Oh, you were talking about
yeah.
him.
Looks like an infamous on Phasma's side. Oh, well, you can't play that card. I'm gonna have to go fix that. Yeah.
What?
Sorry about that. I just had to fix that. Thermal Detonator says you have to spot a yellow character in order to play that card.
Yeah.
So he couldn't play it. What was that about us not being judges?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think they rewound the game state back a little bit, just made sure everything was okay, and now Dave has a very good
So you
roll
just
here.
rolled in instead of...
Yeah. And there was the dodge that we saw earlier in Lucas's hand doing work. Backup muscle going on to Rey. Rey still with with an unexhausted Rey and a one with Force, threatening a lot of damage here. No resources on Lucas's side, but he does show some resources showing on his dice, plus a 3 damage, I believe, on that lightsaber. So maybe looking for, well, I guess that's the best you can hope for. That one discard cell on the hunt. 2 shields. Yeah, Dave, while having a lot of money, probably doesn't have a lot of options right now. Although electroshocking that die is a good call because even though it's showing something that's not that threatening, Lucas can always discard from the roll.
We're just going to take the one resource, which is interesting.
Yep. Anticipate. Wow. That's a card actually I think has been getting a little bit of buzz lately. I'm not sure if it started making its way into a lot of decks, but in those like slower control-y decks, like if your opponent, it's almost like a hero version of Feel Your Anger, right? Just being able to remove a bunch of your opponent's dice that they may not care about the sides of. So 7 damage on Phasma now, 4 remaining, and here's another 3.
No, that was the 3.
Oh, that was a 3, or is he resolving the Rebel War Room right now?
I think he's just saying like, oh, I should have resolved the war room instead
okay.
of spending a resource to do this.
So it's unclear what he's... Okay, so it looks like Dave just claimed the battlefield instead. It's a discarded reroll. Lucas rerolling again, getting 2 resources. So, looking deeper into Dave's deck, I see a lot of elements that are similar to something that was played last time we were on stream, which was Django Double Trooper. And I see Underworld Connections in Dave's hands. So this is definitely a slower deck. Unfortunately, it wasn't getting the rolls at the end that it wanted. And now Lucas rolling out huge damage roll here with the resources to back it up.
Yeah,
See if there's any
I'm not sure.
control
Like, the
elements.
Cunning's a great card, but
Yeah.
I don't know that he's really going to get anything out of it unless his opponent
Yeah.
has it. So he uses the modifier dice to discard Ray Staff, just to take the damage off the board.
Yep. And Lucas is going to put... Oh no, rolls out instead. Rolls out the one with the force. I think maybe I would have resolved that damage on Phasma right away.
Yes.
Yeah. But here's a reroll. Gets on the hunt. Doesn't really matter now. Puts Phasma at 10, so 1 HP left for Phasma. And discards Infamous rerolling here. Pace of play is quickened significantly, so it's hard for me to keep up. Lucas going for the Hail Mary here.
Got a reroll there, so this should be
Yeah. And we're showing 1 damage to modifier, and he's going to try to... Yeah, he does the on the hunt to remove... Yeah.
You cannot remove enough things.
Yeah, because then you just focus the 2 into the special, right? You just use the focus on 1 with the force. And I think that's game. Yep, 2 sources of damage, and that's game. Okay. Turned out for Lucas in the end, but I still think it was really cool to see like a deck that the deck that Dave was running today. It made me think a lot more about Yellow Control, especially with Phasma and two Tusken Raiders. I think Dave is somebody that he's been trying a lot of stuff out, like with every tournament that he comes to. It's always something different. He actually introduced me to the version of the Elite Ray, Elite Poe deck, not a Hyperloop deck, obviously, but it's the one that throws all those blue upgrades at you. So, yeah, I think Dave is definitely a
Nice
player
dice
to
bag.
watch. Yeah. Oh, you know who actually makes those dice
Jenna
bags?
does.
Yeah, Jenna does. So she's like a local. She's also a moderator, I think. For,
I wouldn't be surprised if that's one of hers. I haven't actually looked at her dice bags, but she does so custom Stud Destiny dice bags, and you can find her on the forum. She posts pretty regularly, or not on the Facebook group.
Yeah, so if you're not a part of the Star Wars Destiny Facebook group, just search for Star Wars Destiny and Facebook and just join that group. It's I think it's like 10,000 people strong or something like that.
it?
It's crazy, yeah.
That seems, crazy. All right, we're gonna go to break, and then we'll be back with the 4th and final round. Probably about 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
All right, see you soon.
All right, we're back with the last round of the monthly Destiny tournament from 401 Games here in Toronto. This is the top table. I believe both players are undefeated, although with 10 players, it's possible that one of them has taken a loss.
Yeah, that's true because 10 players, above 8 players, you have to do 4 rounds. Both players just rolling off to see who gets the first player, and it looks like Gary might have won that. Yeah.
He's
So
going to
he-
go with his
Yeah.
battlefield.
So Separatist base, I believe, is the battlefield there. Looks like was it when you claim your opponent has to deal 1 unblockable damage to one of their characters?
So we have two players that we've already seen in the stream today. We have John on the left with a Vader Raider deck, pretty typical. Equally typical on the other side, we have the Elite Bala, Django, and Stormtrooper deck.
Some might say this is basically a preview of the World's 2017 finals for Destiny. Yeah. I feel like, unless there's going to be like a super secret deck at the end. I don't know. It looks like Gary. He took first player. Obviously, putting 2 shields on Vader on John's side. First action is to put a jetpack on Django, going for that huge damage. 'Cause I think in this game, Gary might maybe correctly realize that Vader can very easily cut down Balatik within 1 or 2 activations. Yeah.
So we have Bala activate, nothing that much. Vader has a holocron, he's rolling in lots of damage.
Whoa. Okay.
Oh boy.
Discards for Vader's ability. Django, not a very good roll here. I think that's a 2 shield though. So.
Could put 3 shields on someone.
But the question is like, whenever he puts a shield on, John's just gonna go through his damage somewhere else. I think it's in John's best interest to resolve this right now. I would, if that is indeed 2-3 damage sides, it might be a 2, 3, and a 2. I think you just throw that all on Balatik right now. Just get those 2 dice out of play. But not. I think John passed there, maybe.
He did.
Yeah.
I think he's considering.
Actually, I'm sorry. You know what it was? Actually, it was actually Gary's turn because he rolled Django effect in response to it.
And I think Gary made the decision, not wrongly, that he'll see where the damage goes and that person is going to get the shields. Instead of putting the shields down and likely putting someone close to death.
Right. So as
It was 5 damage, it wasn't 6. So Django's halfway to dead, but I suspect they'll be getting 3 shields. Oh no! Gonna try to get the damage out.
oh no, okay, he does have that base damage on that Stormtrooper.
He has
So
no resources. But he has one showing now.
yeah, so assuming John doesn't have any control elements in his hand, we saw in the first round, it was the first round when John was playing against that Elite Grievous Dooku deck that this is a Vader Raider deck that has a lot more yellow cards than maybe Vader Raider decks of old that relied on No Mercy and Power of the Force. Does not control yet because he realizes that Gary needs to put a resource onto his side before
Rolls some
resolving
3
the
damage on the Raider. Chooses not to activate it right away.
Okay, Gary takes it, and now we see the electroshock onto First Order Stormtrooper. Good play by John, good sequencing there. This is probably going to force a reroll by Gary.
Yeah,
So this was a huge first turn for John. He's assuming Gary doesn't have control of his own. It looks like John's is going to end up dealing a total of 10 damage on turn 1. Okay, so here's a discard of On the Hunt to reroll Balatik's 2 dice. I see a 1 resource, and I see the same modifier side. So I suppose this is one of the sort of the less talked about strengths of the Vader Raider deck. There are no modifier sides on any of those
No.
two dice. And I don't even think, like, if this is, I don't think I saw lightsabers in John's deck. I did see flamethrowers, and flamethrower itself doesn't have any modifier side either. So, you know, this could be a situation where the consistency, where you're just not rolling, like, you know, of course we see a +1 modified resource side on
Sure, but
John, but you don't really
the
care about
holocron
that.
dice.
Yeah, it is what it is, right?
He's going to clean the battlefield here, just I think to avoid having it used
Yep.
against him, and he has nothing else we could really accomplish. So John puts the damage onto the Raider.
And then, yeah. So,
Just 3 more to Django.
so now Django's sitting at 8 damage after turn 1. Brutal. This is basically very similar to what we saw in John's match that we saw in round 1, where by the end of turn 1 it was 7 damage on Dooku.
So doesn't have a lot of money to spend here. Can try to get himself set up.
Hold up
On the
blaster.
plus side,
Yeah.
John didn't get a lot of setup done his first turn either.
He did get that holocron out, and even though he didn't roll the special, you know, it means he doesn't need. He can save his money for all his control and tricks.
Sure.
Django's 1 force strike away from dying. I don't know if he died. Sorry, I don't know if he drew a force strike. That John has one in his hand or not yet. Just double checking to see how much damage Django has on him.
There's always a moment where I'm like, oh, well, if he was lucky enough to draw a second chance, and then it's like, oh, wait, no, not a villain deck.
That's like when you try to fit he doesn't like you in your hero yellow decks.
Yeah.
Wait, you mean you got to play negotiate in this crap?
So I don't know what's going through Gary's head here, what he's deliberating about.
He might be deciding where to put the holdout blaster on, perhaps, or if he wants to put a holdout blaster versus an F11D, and decides with the F11D, I think, which is a smart play because you don't really. I don't know if you need the ambush, and the F11D does have 4 damage sides on it. Here's a second holocron, setting up Vader to be a force power throwing god.
Right. He's starting to get the potential here to maybe at least take out the Tusken before Django goes away with some decent rolls.
Yeah.
Debating here whether to go with the hold-up blaster as well and give up his opportunity to do electroshock.
Yeah, I think you just roll out Balatik here, and then wait for John to roll out something, and then try to get lucky enough to deal enough damage to one-shot the the Tusken Raider. And so he elects to do the rollout on Balatik, and we see a modifier, a focus, and a blank. Depending on what Django rolls out, can still do a lot of damage here, I think. I think if John takes his action as an opportunity to play something instead of rolling out, that could give Gary the chance to focus that F11D into something. But no, John instead rolls out his Vader. Not a very strong roll. Well, I mean, aside from the 3 damage, which
Aside
would
from the
kill,
killing blow to
which would
Django.
kill. Yes, you're right. Which would kill Django.
So discards an arm to the teeth to.
Oh, it's terrible. I mean, I don't know if Django's gonna live now. I think that's it for him.
Yeah, Django's going to take a resource.
Yep. I think that's what you do. It's a shame because if the F11D or Balatik had rolled at least 1 range side, that would be, I think, a dead Tusken Raider.
Not quite.
Well, Tusken Raider has what, 8 or 9? 8 health. And I see a +3 and a +2 damage side.
Right.
So that's 5, 6. Oh yeah, you're right. Okay.
So, interesting choice here.
Yep.
So he's going to overwrite that. Get the free redeploy action.
Ah. That's smart. Saves you some money that way. I wouldn't have even thought of that.
No, I wouldn't have
actually.
thought of that.
Yeah.
No, it's a very good play.
Probably gonna move that on to the Stormtrooper perhaps, or
I think it's worth it now.
Yeah.
Get the extra activation out of it.
yep. There is still that. So there is a focus and a special on both Sith Holocron, so that's actually a really good roll. Now that I think about it, Gary
That is
rolling
not
out.
a good roll.
Yes.
He's gonna hit the Holocron into a Mind Probe.
Jeez.
I assume he's gonna play the one resource,
Yeah.
and he does.
I mean, you have a focus side showing, so why not? And doesn't even
my.
need it. But I think Gary only has 2 cards in his hand, so. I wonder why he resolved it right away.
Because it was a Holocron special.
No, but it resolves the rolling. Oh, because it's special. Sorry,
Yes.
he's resolving specials. Yes, thank you. It's because you have to pay the 1 die to roll that sometimes I forget that you're still resolving specials.
Right.
So discard. Yep.
Discard to reroll.
Okay. Yes. Roll those 3 dice, Gary. So we finally see a range side as well as a focus. So that's going to be 3 damage potentially on one of John's characters here.
Yeah, I think he would have really liked to be able to take. He would have liked to be able to kill the Tusken.
Yeah.
And get the reroll with all of his turn.
But now John can play that Sith Holocron on the Tusken Raider. And I see a Intimidate. I see another upgrade with dice on it, besides the Sith Holocron. Looks like a
Lightsaber.
lightsaber, yeah. Not something you can play with a Sith Holocron special. So there may not be any value right now in playing Sith Holocron. Instead, elects to roll out, gets a blank. So using the focus on Balatik, changing the Stormtrooper die to 2 ranged, now threatening 5 damage on a character. And John thinking about what to electroshock here. Looks like still deciding whether he wants to do the Stormtrooper die, perhaps.
I don't think it really matters here.
No. Okay, so 3 into Vader. I mean, I'm not sure if that's the right call because,
No, because you're going to get the
Yeah.
activation out of Vala, so
yeah,
you want to try to set yourself
Exactly.
up that you'll be able to take that out before he's dead as well. That being said, it might be somewhat of an academic question.
yep. I don't know. I mean, we've seen games today where we thought it was all locked up by the end of the first or second turn, and then it just
Well, I
things
did,
turned out a lot differently.
yes. I did not share your expectations around
Oh,
that
sure.
particular match.
Trying to maximize some damage here. It's like a resource, so you're probably going to now focus that. I think nobody's claimed the battlefield yet. Gary's just been passing.
It's probably. Well, I mean, he might have a.
Yeah, you take the resource first, force Gary to pass. Okay, and then you're going to focus to probably a 3 damage side. Ooh, electroshock. Okay, and now you just claim the battlefield. There you go.
Things are looking a little grim for Gary.
Yeah. Yeah, that huge roll on turn 1, putting Django at such a low life total, really changed the tempo of this game. Although Gary, I see, has drawn quite a bit of control elements in his hand. See another electroshock. I see he doesn't like you. No longer benefiting from the off-phase activation of Django Fett. But I do see a lot of control now in Gary's hand. And he does have the money to play it.
So rolling a mitt full of dice for Vader.
So it rolls a 3 damage side, 2 specials on the Sith Holocron. I'm not sure if John drew any blue abilities in his last turn.
It looks like he has force training, at least.
Oh, force throw.
And
even.
force throw. He can
Okay.
use both of them.
Yeah.
And he can roll them both.
Yeah, but his opponent, Gary, used flank on the Mind Probe die. Very smart play there.
But he's going to be able to put in 2 abilities here.
Yeah, he can even... Yeah. And he has the money to roll all this stuff out, too. So you can roll out the force training, see how that turns out.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Yeah, even Gary's shaking in his head there. Just the ability to chain all that nonsense together. He's going to resolve the other one, put the force throw into play. Yep. And Gary nodding this time. Gets force throw die, paying $1 to roll it into the pool. Okay.
If that was one more special,
yeah.
I was going to...
Would the table have been flipped at that point?
I think I might have gone over and just said, these dice are obviously weighted.
No, John's got a magnet hiding under the table.
So he can still activate
The force training
dice. No reason not to.
Yep.
Spec damage and I guess he could take a resource. He doesn't really need the shield. He doesn't really need anything, but
Take more money. You never know, right? You might need it for the Tusken Raiders 3 melee.
that's what he does.
Rogue One's tell Vader. Yeah.
Yeah. Shade and Chad's mentioning this is
Yeah.
The Vader from Rogue One, not the Vader,
Yeah.
Vader from the original trilogy.
Well, I mean, that's interesting. If he was Vader, if he was Episode 4 Vader, he would have Force Choke on him. What else would he have on him? A lightsaber, most definitely. What other upgrades would Episode 4 Vader have on him? No Force Throw. That would be for Empire Strikes Back, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. This is a throw a deflect at Balatik, I think.
I guess we can use it.
What did he do? He paid. Oh, okay.
Paid for it.
Why did he pay $2 for that? Or maybe I missed. Oh, I'm sorry. He it was resolving the no. Why did he?
Well, I don't know why.
I don't know. Anyway, doesn't
There you
really
go.
matter.
He just
Oh,
pointed out
yeah,
that he had no
okay.
resource. So now we get all of the holocrons onto the Raider.
There's nothing to put it on just yet. I think right now it's just a lightsaber and Kylo's lightsaber as upgrades in John's hand. But I think you're not really all that invested in trying to put upgrades anyway. But it is a smart move to get those holocrons if you're not going to be doing a lot of re-rolling out of your hand, so you can draw a fresh hand of 5 cards. Maybe get some more abilities. Discarding a
Discard
Electro
Electroshock
Shock.
to reroll.
Okay. I mean, turned out to be a little bit worth it, I guess. It looks like 5 damage showing. And then here comes the response. 1 range damage on that Tusken Raider, and
Now, if he put the damage last time on
Yeah.
the Raider instead of Vader,
yeah.
he could finish him off here.
Hindsight is 2020, but I think if you're presented with an opportunity to just try to delete somebody, especially if you have Balatik like that, if you have Balatik ready to go for another round, I think that's the correct thing to do. So John, he's a skilled Imperial Assault player. I believe he is the 2016 Canadian National
Yes.
Champion. And so if you want to see, I don't know if we have the final match. We do have the final match on our VTTV YouTube channel. So that's if you go to youtube.com, you go to VTTV Live, all one word. You can see videos of every single match that we live stream on this Twitch channel.
Yeah, we have a backlog. We have a bunch of Android videos that are going up for the Store Championships we did a few weeks ago, and we have some other Destiny videos that will be going up, as well as this tournament. And I think we have an X-Wing match that should probably go up in the next couple days.
Yeah. So especially those people that are Toronto area X-Wing players, we've got something from the Prototype Toronto League coming out within the next couple of days, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, and generally we have a new video going up on YouTube every 2 days, trying to keep to that schedule. From a mix of FFG games. We also, I think we'll be streaming the Game Night Kit for Netrunner next Sunday. And then after that, we're looking to have live coverage of the Spirits of Rebellion preview event that's happening the week of the 1st and the 2nd.
Yeah.
Pretty confident that we'll be streaming from 401 on the 2nd, as long as they can lock down the date. And we may be looking to also bring some coverage from face-to-face games here in Toronto on the Saturday.
Yeah, so we want to do some pack opening live on camera. So for those people who weren't able to attend a pre-release, maybe get a chance to see some of these new cards, talk about them, even play a couple of games with them, hopefully.
Discards to reroll. Looks good. Well, not.
Well, he does have a focus side.
Yeah. Looks like Bala's gonna die.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe not.
Well, let's see. Bala's sitting on 5. There's a 2 damage side. Does John has 0 cards left in his hand, I think?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll put him 1 away.
Just take all your money.
Poor Bala. Not long for this world.
Yeah, so much of this game, I think, is just like proper target selection. I think.
Yes.
Obviously, it's still possible to make the correct decision and just have the dice not go your way. But I think we've seen today, a few times, it's just been on the side of one player, like an improper target selection.
Sure.
Maybe not maximizing, for example, in this case, maximizing Balatik's ability to reroll. Of course, hindsight is 20/20, and who knows how the dice might have rolled out if he had made a different
There you
decision.
go.
But
That's
still,
better.
yeah.
So trying to get something from Bala before he hits the graveyard.
Man, apparently today is
More
the day of the
modifier dice.
modifier. Yeah.
And this Mind Probe, that'll be enough. Although I'm not sure that he'll use it on Bala.
We see some anti-synergy here with Vader and the Mind Probe special. Gary might be thinking about discarding armed. Oh, actually, maybe you don't want to do that with your F11D rifle as your only upgrade on Balatik. But he does have access to He Doesn't Like You to remove that Mind Probe special, the best defense. But he doesn't have any money on him. Did he forget to take $2, perhaps?
Yes, it.
I think Gary forgot to take the 2.
They'll figure it out. So that puts him out of immediate danger. Of course, they remember to grab them just as Victor was getting over to the table. Of course, with the special ability on the Tusken Raider, it's possible that that rolls in and finishes him off before he can use any more of the dice.
Tusken Raider sneak attack.
Yeah. Also, wouldn't be surprised to see a Force Reader.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I will say though that as bad a position as Gary is in, if John whiffs on this roll, Vader is sitting at 7. It's conceivable in a universe where Gary's luck turns around that he could kill Vader off and then potentially also kill off the Tusken Raider. with 6
It is
HP left.
possible.
Yeah.
I mean, the unfortunate thing is if it looks bad for Vader, he's still got a shield that he can put on him.
True. 2 shield faces, in fact.
Oh, yeah, it is. I thought it was a resource for a second.
So Gary now setting up his endgame character, I think. I think he might be waiting for the Balatik to die here, I think, before rolling out the trooper, perhaps to get that F11.
I don't know. I think rushing it out to try to take advantage of the
Yeah.
damage that's showing, the modifiers they're showing.
Yeah. So looks like a force training was drawn on John's side. Now he's going to roll it out, I think.
Roll it right into a special and the death of Balatik.
Yep. No.
He rolls a blank.
Another lucky break for Gary.
I
But,
think John's already rolled plenty well this game.
Yeah. But, I mean, Baltic is just one focus into anything away from dying.
I think, you got to roll
Yeah.
in here, try to get take advantage of those damage modifiers. Alright, he's got a couple damage dice showing there. He's got all damage dice showing. So.
Yeah, so this is a roll that's hard to disrupt unless there is a dodge in his hand, but I also see a force strike.
A dodge would be very sad,
Yes.
but a force strike will be sad enough, I think.
Yeah. And I think, now that I've seen that force strike, I mean, I think John, he had that option no matter what, so it didn't really matter what Gary did here. And I think that's what you do now to remove.
Tactical mastery.
Yeah. So I think you do that now. You resolve the force strike in order to get those 2 dice off the table. And well, technically he can't do that. I'm gonna have to fix that.
Yeah, he has to do that to a blue dice, but he has plenty of choices. Victor fixed it up. Everything's back.
Yeah, I just had to fix that. It's blue force strike only applies to blue dice or blue characters or something like that.
Blue dice, I believe.
Blue dice.
So yeah, John was obviously just waiting until
Yeah.
it was most opportune. Basically just waiting until he enrolled in the trooper, so he didn't get to use the rifle twice. That's 5 damage.
Showing on.
Alright, so that's dead Vader. That's good. You got the backup muscle, so there's nothing you can do. Nothing you can do to save Vader at this point.
Yep. So
give him a shot here, then it comes down
Yeah.
to how well they roll.
I think maybe John here, just tries to do as much as he can before Vader dies. There we go. Vader's gone with the with a full health stormtrooper though. Man.
Well,
Full health.
4 health stormtrooper in a second.
Oh sure. Well,
I have a feeling we'll be sealing the Tusken doing.
oh
3
that's
damage.
true. Yeah. I mean, Gary doesn't have any money. Gary doesn't. I don't think he has another he doesn't like in his hand. I can't remember if he played his first one a few turns ago.
I don't know if I'd bother with that this turn. I think I would try. I would have used that for a reroll to get just an extra point of damage.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Well, you're talking about re-rolling the force training, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking about rerolling both.
So did Gary pass or did he claim the Battlefield? He's going to claim Battlefield right now, I think. Oh, he does have another he doesn't like you. Wow.
There's no dice.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Damn. Okay, well, I mean, still 1 free damage, so now we're looking at
So it's 4 damage, 4 health on both of them. Or no,
5 health remaining on the Tusken Raider. But I will say, I mean, I can't remember if John has Armed to the Teeth in his deck or not, because that would be a huge blowout too. So here's a reroll, gets 1 resource. I mean, I think it was a 2 in 6 chance for him to get damage sign on that force training. Or actually, it was a 3 in 6 chance because there is that modifier side for melee on the force training.
So when I use the discard, I would reroll both just in case any ended up on the side that I wanted. But yeah, this could go either way. So
Well, yeah, like I
Gary
said earlier,
discards all his
it's changed. The situation's changed significantly, actually. Gary does have first activation, so Well, now I will say that because of Tusken Raider's ability, it's still quite possible for Gary to die out of nowhere because Tusken Raider can still roll the 3 melee and then resolve it right away.
Yes.
Yeah. So Gary is still hanging on a thread. He has to dodge one more lucky roll by John and have some luck on his own side as well. He drew another best defense, which is not going to do anything. I think I see a flank in his hand, which is irrelevant too if he's going to roll out first. I think Gary's just going to have to pray to the dice gods this turn.
I don't think there's anything that can give him
I mean,
more durability.
I mean, you're not looking for durability. You're just looking to dodge a good roll and then have a good roll yourself.
You gotta roll in and see what happens. Just walking through everything, making sure that he doesn't have a better move here.
A little over 3 minutes left on the clock, so
It's a tactical mastery, so he
geez.
does have an opportunity.
Huge.
Yeah, I don't know what he was deliberating about there.
Man, even we didn't see that in his hand. Okay, wow.
That's
okay.
the game. No, it's not. It's
No.
not short.
Well, so he can deal
He'll
the
do this,
damage
and
right
then-
now, and then
and
he
it's
has to
basically,
back up muscle, and it's all
Can
on
John
whether
roll?
John.
Perfect.
Yeah. So he also has a chance of rolling a special on a Holocron, discarding to use that if there is like another Mind Probe or something like that. So there is that out too. The percentage is a lot lower on that as well.
I'm looking to the side to see if I can get a better view of his cards. It doesn't work on the monitor.
Oh no. Okay. Oh, just concedes. I don't think he saw that play. Yeah. But now I think he's trying to point out something.
So it's over. He's conceded already.
Yeah. I think the game's over. I think John realizes, he conceded. So,
But it's very odd that he didn't roll.
I think this is just post game, trying to figure out if he could have done it. I don't know if I want to do this because I don't want the knowledge.
No. He conceded.
No. But I don't want to do this after the fact to see.
Well, no, but it could make you feel better too.
It would make me feel worse.
No, but now he feels fine.
Oh,
He
okay.
can walk away not thinking about it anymore.
No, but the chance of feeling much worse is there, though. You know what I mean?
I guess.
All right, cool. I mean, but I will say though that I'm a lot.
That was
more...
not what I expected for this.
No, I'm actually glad this game got cast. That's like huge turnaround by Gary. I thought this game was going one way completely, and then it just turned out it ended up going the other way. So congratulations to Gary for being the top player in this Star Wars Destiny Game Night Kit tournament. Also, congratulations for John for putting up a very strong showing. Of course, he was the winner of last month's Game Night Kit, I
think so,
believe.
yes.
Yeah.
So we're back next Sunday with Netrunner, which may not be of much interest to the folks that are watching today, but we'll be back on the first weekend of April with some coverage of the preview event, and we'll be posting a bunch of games from this tournament, also an earlier tournament we filmed on the YouTube channel. So you can expect to see a bunch of stuff going up there the next couple weeks before we're back with another Destiny live stream.
All right, so thanks so much, everybody, for watching. We hope to see you soon. Take care.